children who roam the streets. To fulfill this, she founded the Akansha Foundation, a non-profit organization in education, at the age of 20 to impact the lives of such children. Over 2 decades, her foundation, which started with just 15 children in one center, has now reached 3,500 children in 58 centers and 6 schools. Renowned jewelry designer, gemologist, she can be called a jewel alchemist as well, known for translating beautiful imagery and thoughts into exquisite gems worn, of course, by international celebrities and at red carpets around the world. Farah is also, of course, actively involved in, of course, missions such as the Antarctic Treaty to preserve the Antarctica and, of course, our planet. Because the success of some of these women, all of you, and many of you who are here with us as well in the audience, is an inspiration to so many youngsters out there today. And what they always want to know, from achievers like yourself, is really where to begin. And a little bit of an insight from your stories. What was the driving force that brought you to where we are today, to the fact that you've become, beacons in your own right? So let me start with you, Krishna.
Good evening, everyone. It's wonderful to be here in front of all USP people. Talking about my journey and my success, I feel a little weird, but still. What I feel and I believe is because of my will and determination, I'm here. I've also faced a lot of hurdles and setbacks. I never thought, it just started as a thought that culminated into this beautiful dream. I was a very shy, introvert girl. I never thought I would do something, I would be able to do something like this. Yes, it took a lot of courage, to break through my fears. Especially, coming in this field, it was like to hear a no many times. Whether initially I had to hear a no from a director, from an actor, many times. So it took a while for me to really be there and to believe in myself and to hear a no and still go ahead. And that's how I started my journey.
Fantastic. Malini, let me get your thoughts as well. And also take off from something Krishna said, which is that it's important to recognize that everyone has failures, or if not failures, challenges along the way that they do need to bridge.
Yeah, absolutely. First of all, thank you so much for having me here. It's a real honor, and it's really inspiring to be with so many amazing women on the stage. I guess for me, my journey, I never really started out thinking I'm going to build, a digital empire or anything like that. I was really blogging for passion. I love to write, and I've done different things, whether it was running digital content or being a backup dancer for Severe or being in the radio. And I always felt that the one thing that connected me with people were my words or my voice. And that's really what I was trying to do. And I think the one thing, like you said, what is it that people can do? How can they succeed, or how do they find what their dream is? I think it's really find that passion. And I say this very often that, before you try to become rich and famous, think about the one thing that you would do for the rest of your life, even if no one paid you to do it. And then do that. Pursue that as your career. And I'm sure all the women on the stage will agree that the universe will conspire to make you successful at it. And I think that's what I encourage all the women and the boys to find the thing you're passionate about. We actually live in an amazing time where you can make literally anything your career. Careers that never existed, even 10 years ago. So I'm excited for everyone who's, the millennials who want to do something today.
Fantastic. Let me come to you, Shaheen, and understand, because you're also, so started off in a very difficult space. I'm assuming. Tell us a little bit about your journey, and the set of challenges that you had perhaps were a little different from, let's say, somebody who was striving in the corporate world or in the world of fashion or movies, for example. So give us your perspective.
Sure. Such a good question. Like, what would you share with somebody else? I think being able to hold the truth and the hope. So the truth is that I'm getting an award today. And the truth is that I'm educating through Teach for India, where I work 42,000 kids today. The truth is also that there are 320 million kids in India. Most of them don't get an excellent education. So I think being able to hold both of those, and then there's the hope, and I feel incredibly blessed to do the work that I do. Since it's all about women today. A quick story. One of my students, Priyanka, lived in a slum community in Pune. Her father's in jail for life. He escaped, he married 4 other women, he had 7 other children. She grew up with tremendous instability, and that girl just wanted to do something with her life. And so she came in to Teach for India. She got into the United World College in Italy. She graduates from there this year. She's just got a full scholarship into Franklin Marshall in the US. That's not the incredible part of the story. The hope is that she, last year in her summer holidays, brought 10 of her friends from Italy, they were from all over the world, to India to live in her home in the slum and do community work. So that idea of how you find your potential, but how you spread it. How is education about being our best, but how is it about making the world better? And I think just being obsessed with whatever you want to do, right? And I think that probably speaks for everyone on this panel. We're just sort of obsessed with what we do. That I think would be my advice.
That's so interesting because it's a recurring theme. I think Malika mentioned passion, obsession, and Krishna also mentioned just drive and the fact that you just need to constantly be at it. What do you think?
Thank you all for having me here. Yes, I agree with all these 3 wonderful women here. It's very important in life to have passion, creativity, and drive, and I think that's what actually happens to me. Because I'm the kind of person that if I want to do something, I do 100%, or I don't do it at all. And so I never planned to be a jewelry designer. I actually planned to go to LA and party, and I decided that if I'm going to go party, I have to do 100% of it. So I convinced my parents that I wanted to do jewelry design because a friend of mine was going and I needed an excuse to go to LA. And but when I landed in LA, I opened my books and I had a heart attack because gemology is not jewelry design. Gemology is actually a science, and jewelry design is artistic. So here I was, really neck deep into work that was math, science, all subjects I hated in school, and I was like, now what? But I broke those fears and I actually said, okay, I'm now 100% going to study. So instead of becoming this party animal I hope to be, I became the Indian nerd. And I put 100% of my work into my study. That paid off because I taught my class and I came back to India and I had all this knowledge and I was like, now what? And I started interning with various jewelers and various people because my parents believe that they have given me an education as my legacy and I need to build it on my own. It wasn't like, darling, let me fund you, let me open a store for you. So I have to work it all by myself. So I actually worked from ground level and built my life. It's been a long journey of 25 years, up until 3 years ago, almost 4 years ago. I lost everything I started off with because I trusted too many people, and I was just a jewelry designer before that. I ended up being in court for 6 months in a litigation with someone who took me to court to prevent me from using my own branding because he was a partner in my company. So I restarted my life. Those 6 months of court were the best lessons I learned, and I decided that now I need to relearn what I had learned. So from just a jewelry designer, I became a businesswoman, and I became a lawyer, and a banker, and an accountant, and everything that I ever was. So I thank the guy who took me to court, and I think that you learn the best from failure. And I have learned so much from failure that now the only way is up. And after I split with him, I opened my own manufacturing company. And I actually started working with Nourish, one of India's largest retail chain. And that wouldn't have happened to me if I had split with my partner. So all good things happen from bad things, and that's what's common between all of us is we're all passionate about what we do, and I don't love to design, I live to design. So I think it's my passion that's brought me here, and what I actually share with you. Thank you.
Thank you.
So I want to ask all of you, when we're talking about pushing ourselves, that's one thing. But, like you said, and there are girls that you work with that you're an inspiration for, that you motivate, that you push. When it came to yourselves, you all started so young, right? All of you. Who were the driving forces in your life? I mean, to what extent do you feel that motivation needs to be within, and to what extent do you feel that we also need external sources of support?
I think wonderful job that
कोशिश करूँगी।